show and got robbed by one of them thug cats. Hopped on stage and someone yelled out, use a rag. If I wanted to hear it, I beat it like a punch bag. Fun fact, people jump me like bounce castles. All I gotta do for it to happen is go to 10 and count backwards. Hearing the crowd's laughter, said about my dad's past, and someone walked past and laughed and said, damn man, you's a sad bastard. A tad act misfit, vagabond and miscreant. So confusing people's contemptuous glance for actually feeling it. Not narcissistic, just part of the pot you pissed in. Part of ways with them and left not a drop of wisdom. Been caught slipping, the cardinal smart victim. The convicts, criminals, and cogs in the cop system. Once thought I was cool in my market brand. Skinny jeans till a chick pulled them down and nicknamed my mini-me. If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling baller and hollering at your girl. I've been making little money and spending it like I'm rich. I've been making bad decisions and thinking that I'm the. If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling baller and hollering at your girl. I've been making little money and spending it like I'm rich. I've been making bad decisions and thinking that I'm the. In my underpants, I'm staring at the ceiling, debating boxer brief merits. Watching parent MCs copy M&M's of parents. It's apparent I'm destructive with the thoughts that I've been sharing. I'm a tad awkward in circles, my social cues considered barren. Narrow-minded and criminal intentions when I mention that my pen game's the only way I'll make it to a pension. Kamikazation of the problem in correlation with the root of all evil. At the tree of Eden, tearing at its fruit.
Testing. What? Hold on. Come on, I gotta keep it. We're gonna cut this off. Testing. Okay, I'm rolling. Let me go back over here, crank this back up. Let me check my other channels too. See if people can see me. Yeah, I'm cool. So what's up, everybody? It's your boy One Gun here, folks. And today, folks, I guess this shit's finally over with today. I've been kind of quiet, keeping kind of low because, like, when you're dealing with legal stuff, the first thing your lawyer is going to tell you is stop going on YouTube. Don't say nothing publicly or whatever, and don't say anything. And I basically have been doing that so far. So far, so good. And I've probably lapsed a thing or two and probably posted a thing or two, but it ain't stuff I ain't already posted, which was fine. But the whole thing about it is that I got into it with a renowned YouTube troll. Well, he's a troll. He's a troll on Facebook. He's a troll in any place that there's a social media. This guy's like a huge troll, And I ran across this little fellow back in December or something like that. I think it was like in December when I first came across this little clown. And all he's been doing is basically, I guess, like, he does comics, I guess. I mean, that's what you want to call what he does, a comic, but he tries to do those. And he's really bad at making comics. He's really bad at it. And what he has done is basically made a whole thing about how to do comics when he's not really selling comics. I mean, he's really not doing a good job at selling his brand, So as a retaliation against people who laugh at him, what he does is he assumes your identity. He goes around as you and preaches hate and targets people and threatens people, insults people in your name using your images. And then when he's done with that, then he will also start taking your images, start defaming you. He also was threatening me, telling me if I ever took my content to Kickstarter or any other place, he was going to try to get me canceled. And there's a whole bunch of stuff he's did, and I really haven't spoke up against it or said anything about it until I was able to finally take some, I had to fucking get a law firm that have the ability to go in Canada to go after him. I had to sit back and start getting all the stuff he's done, all the defamatory stuff, all the stuff he's done in my name, using my images. I had to get that stuff removed. Then I had to do some other things, and he's like, "Oh, you talking about Joe?" No, I'm not talking about Joe. I'm talking about someone who's just as worse, just about the same as Joe. Thing about it is, like, I think the whole thing being Joe's. I don't give a fuck what Joe does. If Joe wants to do, Joe do what the fuck he wants to. I don't care. Really don't care. But this little motherfucker goes an extra step. Because this guy believes in ruination. He believes in cancel culture. He believes in going around lying about people and trying to get people to hate people. I mean, that's his whole thing. He wants people to hate people for him, and he wants to go around hating people and then the people that he hates, he goes around and assumes their identities and hate on and use your identity to use to hate other people with your identity. Now, everybody's like, oh, he's just a little guy. He does this, he does that. Well, you got to think about what he's doing, because what he does is kind of like disingenuous, because he tries to form some type of case against you by saying you're a racist and you're that and you're this, because I know people in a certain group and I talk to these people. I'm not like, I don't hate nobody. I'm not going to sit back and say just because these people believe different than me, I'm going to sit back and call them racist or whatever because they believe in different things. Now, it's one thing for someone to actually be a racist versus someone who's just over there and with a group who claims that, whatever, you can't just hate somebody because they're in a group with other people who are doing something else. That person that you're hanging around with or have a conversation with, that's totally different than actually being a part of a hate group. But this dude goes around saying that I'm a part of a hate group, and he keeps on propagating this bullshit. And then he started using my name and my images and shit, and started going around making fake accounts and stuff with my name on it, claiming to be me, going around saying all type of shit. And you can say what you want to about me. It's a free world, but I'm not gonna let you go around and try to strengthen your case against me by pretending to be me. No, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. Then I get all this flack. Folks. I mean, I do get a lot of flack for this about this cancel culture shit, right? It's like, oh, you don't need to be doing that. Stop doing that. It's cancel culture. This cancel culture. Like, no, this ain't about cancel culture, right? This is someone out here trying to fuck up your brand, because he's angry, he's mad because his brand is shit, right? And that's what this is all about. If you're me and you're trying to do the things that I'm doing with crowdfunding and social media and stuff, the last thing you need is someone going around here pretending to be you, using and I'm not just pretending. He's using everything. He's using my name, using my face, using my images, using everything, and pretending to be me, and going around doing all these hateful things to people. And think about it, he will do this stuff to people I didn't know. And so if anybody ever sees my face or anything, they will assume I was the one who attacked him, which has happened because of what he did. Because somebody assumed I was the person that attacked him because of what he did, and I had to stop it, And the thing about it is he did it so fast and so quick. It took me a minute to actually get the right people to do the right thing and get him the fuck out off of the social media doing what he was doing. If you want to hate someone, if you don't like people laughing at you, well, I suggest you use your own face, your own name, and your own images to do so. I mean, why sit back and hide behind someone else's persona, pretending to be them, going around spreading your stupid hate? If you can't make a product that can sell, and if you can't make a product that can sell, well, then that's your fault. It's not my fault. It's not the next guy's fault or his fault. It's your fault, right? So I had to. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Instagram, on a whole bunch of places, And think about it is that he went around to all my social media and he started picking up photos, right? He even came on my show, even showed me the picture, and I was like, and he's like, he's going to start using it. And I said, well, if you do, there's going to be consequences. So he went ahead, and next thing I know it, he was up on Facebook, on Twitter. He stole my name and my face and had it on another account on Twitter, and everybody's like, oh, it's nothing. This, that. I was like, y'all don't understand. This is my brand. This is my name. He's using it. And he's going after people using my name, using my face. Everybody else is like, oh, don't worry about it. It's like, no, dude, this is something I do worry about. This is something I worry about. This is me, So I actually I had to find the right lawyers to handle it, because the dude ain't even in our country, but I had to find somebody who can actually go after him. And I did. I finally found somebody. And the thing about it is that the other guys I had got the other stuff down, but they said that I'm about to get somebody else to go after him personally, But first things first was to get him off of YouTube. First thing first was to get the shit that he posted up me off of YouTube, and that's what they did. Now they're gonna have to go to the magistrate. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know how the fuck the law works up in Canada, but they said they told me, explained to me. I can't remember, but they told me exactly how to do it and what they're going to do. to keep him to leave me alone. Now, hopefully by now the dude understood to leave me the fuck alone, and try something else with somebody else. Make someone else find someone who's more stupid than me, I guess. Find someone else that you can imitate and irritate. Find someone else. If you can't be yourself, get the hell off social media. But the whole thing about it is that he came after me, and he's been doing this for fucking weeks and months now. I've seen him do this to other people. I've seen him do it to another guy. He's made a YouTube video on this guy's name. He goes around. I keep on telling the guy, like, listen, man, get this shit removed. You want me to help you remove it? I'll remove it. I can help you remove it. It'll probably cost you a little money, but in the long term, he won't be able to do it no more. And he won't do it. I'm like, fuck that. Like, listen, I'm trying to get crowdfunding for my projects. I'm going to be most likely around people, people who do movies and film and shit like that. And last thing I need is this little barbarian, going around and doing shit. I know people are going to do it, whatever. But this little motherfucker here, I have to stop him in his tracks because like he said, he said he was going to stop me from going to Kickstarter. He said he's going to stop me from doing that. He said Kickstarter don't take people from Comicsgate. Well, good for me because I'm not a part of Comicsgate. See, he's under the impression that if I put hashtag Comicsgate to a whole community of people who could possibly be my customers and buy my content, he think I should shun away all those people, And I'm like, so who should if I put out do my crowdfunder, who else? What community am I going to go to? What community do you approve of that I can go to that I can advertise my content to? Because he's basically telling me what I should do with my content. And I'm like, no, dude, this is my shit. You don't own it. So what he basically did is that he went out, decided that he was going to force me to do what he wants me to do, or else he's going to keep on insulting me. And that's the way he works. He just works on trying to insult you and defame you and all type of crazy shit. And the thing about it is, I said, I've been here before. I know how to handle this because you just can't write to YouTube and say, hey, YouTube, this guy is hurting my feelings and he's defaming me and he's pretending to be me. YouTube don't give a fuck about that. YouTube wants to know what legally binding reason do they have to get rid of the content, right? And people say, oh, well, one guy's trying to cancel. No, this is not about cancel culture. This is the rights to my own shit, right? I own my shit. No one else do. If you want to use my shit, you can always contact me via my email, and I will send you an invoice to how much it's going to cost to use any image that I have. If you don't do that, well, then I have the right to take any video post, anything down, because that's my rights as a creator. See, I'm a creator. I don't know anybody who don't want to like defend their shit. If you create something and you don't want to defend your shit, well, then how can you call yourself a creator, right? How can you call yourself a creative person if you're not out there hands and feet on the ground defending your shit? It's your shit, not theirs. How would you let someone else make money off your content or make money off of you, period, while defaming you and doing other shit? Why would you do that? No. If somebody's going to take your shit for that reason, make them pay you for it, period. All these videos I see of people making all these videos about locales and all the other shit, I'm like, damn, you know what? If that person was thinking about the guy who made this video, he can go after this video and make them pay them for that image they went most likely to their social media and took. Anything now, when it comes to like public stuff, like if you was to post it on YouTube, and someone does a YouTube video, you can actually go back and actually EFAP the video as long as you make it transformative. It's very hard to make a photo image of a person transformative. It's very hard to take anybody's work and maybe truly make it informative unless you put in a context to where it's passing along information. You just can't take someone's image and say, oh, see this guy here? Yeah, he's fat. Yeah, he got one leg. Heh. And he's also a part of Comicsgate, a racist hate group. You can't do that. That's defamation. You can't do it. It's straight up, flat out defamation. You can't do it. Now, if he was to take my picture. I'm not going to explain what he could have done. I'm not going to explain that. But one thing he could have done was come to me first, and I would have sent him an invoice to tell him how much a day it would cost for him to keep that image on his YouTube channel. But since he thinks like a troll, I treated him like a troll. So here's the thing. Mr. Larry P. Higgins. I think you need to find someone else, because I'm not the one. I hope whatever I said about you really hurts your feelings, but I did not do it in a deformative way. I did it in a very educational way, which let everybody knows that your fucking Kickstarter is a piece of shit. You don't sell nothing. Your books are garbage. You are garbage. And for you to sit around and want people to hate people on your behalf, that's bullshit. You are the biggest hate monger I've ever ran across. And I mean hate as in hater. Hater, not hate as in racist, but a straight up hater. You hate people because they do better than you, and then you come after them. You know, at least Joe has some dignity. At least Joe pretends he's trying to defend himself. You are just something totally else, because you haven't done nothing with your life. And you try to blame it on others. You know, and I don't know what possessed you to come after me in the way you did. I really don't understand, don't know why, but you came after me, and I let you get away with it. I played around, and I did my little back talk with you, whatever. But one thing I never did to you, Larry, I never took any image of you, made a sock account, and pretended to be you. Because you know why? That's not a dignified way to win an argument, Larry. You win an argument by actually taking up the facts against the person who's, you know, accusing you or debating you, you know. And that's the problem with a lot of you guys out here, especially the 50-year-old men who still with their parents. You guys don't know how to properly debate someone. You guys don't know how to properly convey what you're thinking to other people. You don't. The only thing you guys know how to do is to insult people. And when you get into that realm of insults, harassment, and defamation, then that's when the law kind of takes over. I've never once had to use your image, Larry, to convey any statement about you. You know why? Because I don't have to. I just have to show people what you've done and what you're doing to convey my honest opinion about you, and to make it an honest opinion about you. Because my honest opinion about you, Larry, is that you're a piece of shit. Period. You don't know how to make comics. You pretend with your 10 years of knowledge. You're putting your 10 years of knowledge up against somebody with 30 years of knowledge, and thinking that you know more than someone who's been in the field of comics longer than you've ever thought about being in comics, dude. I mean, come on. You hate people, right? You hate people, or anyone who puts the hashtags Comicsgate. I'm not in Comicsgate. I'm going to say this last time, Larry. I'm not in Comicsgate. I know people in Comicsgate. I talk to people in Comicsgate. I go over to the community. I hang out with some people on their streams in Comicsgate. But I am not in Comicsgate. Number one, when I release my comic book, it will not have nothing to do with Comicsgate. I'll probably go to Comicsgate and have people over there promote it and stuff like that. But no, it's not going to be an official Comicsgate book. No, and my book will not be an official Comicsgate book. It will be a comic book meant for everyone to read, for everyone to enjoy. The same thing with my animation. My film is going to be for everyone to enjoy. Comicsgate isn't about what you think, Larry. I don't care what on Wikipedia. And think about it is, you keep going to that article in Wikipedia. Who wrote that article? You can't even point out who wrote that article. I could have wrote that article. Anybody could have wrote that article. Does that mean that article is factual? No. There is nothing besides that article that says anything about any people in Comicsgate being racist. And you use that stupid article to convey to other people that anybody who uses just by me using the hashtag just to get the attention of people that are in that community makes me a racist, which is wrong. That's prejudgment. You don't know me. Only thing Larry knows is that there are people out there who hate Comicsgate. You know, I don't care for people who hate Comicsgate. I just know that I mean, even if somebody hated Comicsgate, doesn't mean I hate them. And that's where we get into the side bullshit. You know, I don't play sides. Everybody knows I don't play sides. If you don't like somebody, that's on you and them. You know, but I'm not going to hate you for it. Because eventually you'll stop hating the person, or you will come to some type of agreement with the person. But my thing is not to help you hate. Larry wants people to hate. He came onto my show and told me he wants me to hate other people in his name and his steed. And the only person that Larry has behind his back to hate other people or to hate people in Comicsgate is his buddy Mike Wheeler. Now I'm saying nothing bad about Mike Wheeler, but every time that little prick decides he wants to say something about someone or something, he has to go and get Mike, because he can't talk for himself. He has to go and get other people to come onto his panel to talk about people in Comicsgate, because he has no flat out reason to talk about anybody in Comicsgate. He really doesn't. He really doesn't. The first thing comes out of his mouth, they're out there and they're being racist against this other black artist, this other black man creating comics. Well, I'm like, well, it's Eric July. And I don't understand what's racist about Eric July. I mean, what are they saying is racist about Eric? The only thing they say about Eric July is that he's a flat out liar. You know, he's a grifter. And if you ain't watched his shows, what he's been doing all these years, especially with his comic book, with the AI art and 3D assets, after he said, I don't use 3D assets. And it's been proven time after time that this guy lies. And I'm sorry, Larry. But the reason why Larry wants to get on Eric July's good side is because he wants to run over the Ripper stand. He wants to go to Ripperverse. He wants to be a writer at Ripperverse. He wants to be cool with Eric July. I mean, like, I never cared for Eric July. Even back before he did comic books. When I used to sit back and get on YouTube, and my first time I ever saw Eric, I didn't like him. I didn't like what he was talking about. But there was a time before Eric July turned into what he was that, what up, folks? What's up, Quasi? Quasi Network and Studio is up in here. What's up, man? There was a time before Eric July became what he is today. Me and him could probably see eye to eye, but money got involved. Money changed. I think we believe money changed that man to what he is right now, into the grifter he is. There's a difference in someone like before they become a grifter and after they become a grifter. What happened is I can tell you, this is what I solely believe about Eric. He is the way he is now because of money. Money has changed that man, and how easy, not the fact that he got money, but how he's able to get it. That's what changed him. That is what probably changed him. And it made him extreme. It made him start believing in shit that he would never ever believed of, but he's believing in this shit because he knows believing in shit is going to make him money. You know, a lot of people don't think about that. But I think about it a lot, because I'm like, if I ever came into a nice sum of money to where I can make a comic book company and do what he's doing, I wouldn't fuck it up. And the way I mean by fuck it up, I wouldn't change. I wouldn't become something that I know I'm not. I wouldn't lie to people. I wouldn't do a whole bunch of garbagey shit and put my ego behind it. I would find the correct people to do the correct job so I could be successful. You know, his books are not doing good. His books, his one-hit wonder of book. The only reason why his book did so good because he claimed to be the first one doing what he was doing, which at the time was great, because don't forget, folks, we was in the middle of the woke war. Remember, every video on YouTube was about being woke, the fight against DEI, all this other shit, and a lot of people bought into that shit, and they bought into him, and that's how he was able to make those millions and millions of dollars. That's how. On the first book, on the second book, not too much in the third book, but that's how he made his money. He made his money by knowing that lying to people will make you money. That's how he made it. You know, same thing with Niobe or Larry Higgins. He feels that if he can go around and hate someone because other people are hating this person, he feels that more people will come to his side. More people will come to his book. But that's not what comics is about, folks. You know what comics is about? You want to know what comics is about? Comics is about entertaining people, entertaining folks, giving people something to think about other than everyday, ordinary life, giving people a world to escape to. I've never in my life seen the way motherfuckers are doing comic books today. I've never seen this shit happen. People don't read comics to have fun and enjoy the world. They read comics to destroy the creator, the artist, or the process in general. How can you say you're a comic book artist and you're going to sit back and say you're going to walk on the grave of Marvel and DC? You know, you can't even compete with Marvel and DC, but yet you want to walk on the graves. Yeah, how's that working out? There's a fucking problem with the way people in this indie space think about comics, because comics is no more of an enjoyable thing to do. It's not. Because you got people in this space who think that no one else knows what they're doing but themselves. They think they're the ones who's going to make comic books great again. Everybody thinks they're going to make comic books. I think I could probably make comic books great again, but I know that's false. That's being delusional. The only way to make comic books great again is for you to make a comic book and make it for everyone. That's the only way. That's the best comic book in the world. It's a book that anybody can pick up and read and have fun with. Look at Spider-Man. Look at the early days of X-Men. Look at Superman. Look at all the comic books. Look at all the best comic books ever made. It wasn't manga. It was American-made comic books. If it wasn't for American-made comic books, animation, cartoons, there would not be no manga. We started this stuff. We made this stuff the way it is. And the problem is that everyone in this space wants to destroy each other over fucking comics. You know, I've never seen so much defamation, so much just straight out, just flat out hostileness. Some cases, borderline fucking ignorance. I've never seen this shit in the comic book world. Never. When I was young and I used to go to comic book shows and all this other shit, I used to go to San Diego, used to go to a lot of comic book shows. Not once did I hear anybody ever talking about whose side you on. It's comics, people. Why make it more complicated than it already is? It used to be when I go to San Diego, I can walk from Eric Larson's table to Rob Liefeld's table, and neither one of those guys will say a bad word about each other. I can go to Mark Silvestri's table. I can go and wait in line to talk to Jim Lee. None of those guys have nothing bad to say about each other. All the Image guys. None of them. Even when you catch them, in some cases, going to get those, you notice that you're standing behind one of the artists. And you tap on their back. It's like, hey, ain't you such and such? It's like, yeah. And you talk to them. They're just regular people just like you. They're not gods. They're just regular people just like you. You got a little celebrity, but not gods, you know. But they act like regular people. You know, the problem I see with a lot of people like Larry and a couple other people is that they feel like somebody owes them something. Nobody owes you shit. You owe your followers something. That's who you owe. You owe more than anybody owes you. Nobody's going to commit to hating anyone because you want them to be hated, Larry. I'm a leftist, sure am. I believe in a lot of things that a lot of people come escape don't believe in. But yet, I can come over here and have cordial conversations with these people and be friends with them all. How can I do this and you can't? It's because, Larry, it's because of what you are and what you represent. You are a cancel pig. You have no reason in life but to make shitty comic books, get angry, and then try to cancel other people because they're not thinking like you. How the hell are you going to walk to a guy who's making $1 million and tell him he's not doing it right, and then sit back and say you're in the long game? Then I found about these old wacky numbers from Antarctic Press you got. Those are old ass fucking numbers. Those are old numbers. Those are like COVID numbers. You have nothing recent to prove that you're making the money that you claim you're making. You have nothing to. You have no way to prove it. When Danielle was on your channel the other day, what, a week or so ago, and you up here talking about the back end and all the other stuff, one thing you neglected to do, you neglected to show anybody your real numbers. You neglected to show that. You showed everything else but the real numbers for your campaign, your whole back end. I just went back and watched that video. It's like, yeah, she was asking you to show the numbers, but instead of asking the numbers, you kind of like skip past. You didn't want to show nothing, which is strange. For someone who keeps telling me I got my numbers wrong, that's why I went back and reiterated my numbers and say, yeah, everything in here is about correct. Your campaign is still sitting at $10,000, like it's been sitting for weeks. It still says that you sold only 124 books of your covers, but you want to combine it with all the other junk you're selling. Like, how can you sit back and run a campaign for Naomi Outbreak 4 when you're selling everything else? Your Kickstarter ain't about Naomi Outbreak 4. It's about all this shit you can't sell. It's like a fucking warehouse. Naomi Outbreak 4 is a fucking coupon. That sounds true. What's up, Chuck? Naomi Outbreak is a coupon to get all the other shit. Go to Naomi Outbreak on his Kickstarter. You will see that everything else about what he does on that page, except for the thing that the Kickstarter is about. There's like one little paragraph which barely explains what the fuck the book is about. Really? Really? You're going to sit back. You're going to sit back and tell other people they're not doing their campaigns right and all the other bullshit when you, my friend, you have a campaign going on right now, and when you go there, you don't know what you're buying. There's something on here I can get called Naomi Outbreak 4, but I have to get through all this other bullshit in this weird-ass flea market yard sale of a bazaar to find the actual book that I came here to get. But, oh no, that's not how you run a campaign. Like, no, I think that is, because I can give you an example of the people you so-called hate who are doing well better than you. Like, what's that one? Well, hold on. Let me find this one campaign, which is very interesting to me. Very interesting campaign that I saw. Where is it? Very interesting campaign that Shane Davis was talking about, and I'm looking for it, folks. Hold on, I should have had it out, but I think this is it. Here it is. Here it is. Let's check this. Let's check out this one real quick. All right, check out this campaign right here, folks. It's called Spring Ball, right? With 29 days left, it's made over $20,000. $20,000 in USD, not Canadian. Not Canadian, not Monopoly money, not Canadian. But this guy just like kicked this off a few days ago, right? Not even close to 30 days being over for this campaign. He somehow managed to get $20,000 for his campaign while Larry's still set at half at this. I mean, this shit gets hilarious because look at this. Look at Spring Ball. All right, check this out. I mean, actually, looks I kind of like this dude art style. I kind of like McFarlane. McFarlane with all proportions were drawn right, you know. But look at this guy. This guy's only selling one thing. Look at this. Campaign fund to work. So he's actually a fund to work. This book has been out before. I never seen this book before, but it says this book's been out before. 20 pages of bonus material. He's offering all this shit for like $25, right? But that's all he's offering. He's just offering just one book. Look at this, one book. Look, the whole campaign is about Spring Ball. Do you see Naomi Outbreak 1, Naomi Outbreak 2, Naomi stickers, Naomi campaign dildo devices? No, you don't see none of that shit. You just see a campaign for one fucking book. That's all you see, you know? And look at this. Look how short it is. Brief explanation, what I'm getting, when I'm getting it. And he got like, well, how many tiers here? He got a bunch of tiers here, but let's see. Let's go through them. You get the deluxe, which is like the signed edition, whatever. You get throwback, I guess it's like get the first issue, whatever, the original story and stuff like that, and you get the book. You get a print, but everything he's selling here has everything to do with the one book that he has put out, and he's actually letting you understand like he has the original book that he put out, and he has this new one, which I guess is like the upgraded art version or something. I'm not too sure, but as you can see, this is a pretty good book. And look at this. He doesn't have any digital downloads. He made all this money the old-fashioned way through physical copies of the book, Larry. Physical copies of the fucking book, Larry. Can you do that, Larry? Can you sell a physical copy? You've sold more digital copies of your shit-ass book than you have of your actual fucking regular physical copies. So that says something. And he doesn't have to sit back and use his Kickstarter to open up a whole fucking store, right? He does a Kickstarter, and the topic of this Kickstarter is Springball Terminal Monstrosity. Is the actual book that he's selling. There is no trying to find out what the book is about because he explains it all right here. How many paragraphs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs in a video. Amazing. Amazing. This guy's, number one, his campaign is on topic. Number two, he's not trying to sell you a bunch of fucking bullshit as malware comic books. That's what your Kickstarter is. It's a fucking malware in disguise. He's actually selling you a book with content, and he's selling extras that complement the book. Not a damn thing you sell in your Kickstarter complements anything you're fucking selling. You're selling titty books. Titty books. Once again, titty books. Every last one of the books that you make are nothing but titty books for young teenage. It's titty books made for underage girls. All your characters look like 16, 17-year-old girls who mama have not caught them walking out the house looking the way they do. And that's the thing, Larry. That's what I keep on telling you. You are the laughing stock of comics. You get angry at people because they laugh at you. And why? Because you're the laughing stock. You keep on making things of people to laugh at you about. I laugh at you every day because you've made a couple of videos on me. I don't really care because I laugh at them. But I do laugh at things like this. That's funny. Oh, is this one? This is funny. Remember this one, Larry? Yeah, that was pretty funny. That is real funny. I laugh at this every day. I got actually gonna post it. This was funny too. This was funny, and the one before was funny because this is your blue sky, right? This is your blue sky, and let's see what else. And this was your Twitter account, right? I laugh at this because it's funny. This is what humor is to me. And this one right here. Look at this. Look at this, Larry. This just happened, folks. Yeah. There you go. I hope you have a happy, wonderful day, Larry. I hope the rest of your days are happy and merry. I hope they are. I hope the next time you decide to do a comic book, you make something that makes some fucking sense. I really do. I really truly do. You know, I just wish you would just do it with someone else. Find someone else around your old age, you know, that has like that's still living with their parents and somewhere eating cat food just like you, Larry. You know, you do the same thing. You know, for a guy who's broke and poor, he sure just find some way to get a lot of money to pay lawyers to go after little pricks like you, right? But I'm supposed to be the one living on government assistance, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Keep thinking that, Larry. Keep thinking I'm broke, Larry. Well, we know you're broke. After all the shit you've done, we know you're broke. But anyway, folks, that's it. That's all I have to say. That's my one talk. You know, I haven't done one of these in a while. But Larry fought the law, and the law won. W-U-N, won. Fuck you, Larry. I'm out of here, folks. Peace out. This is your boy One Gun. I'm signing out. Peace.
This for my people, consumer entertainment's for my coke shooting. If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling baller and hollering at your girl. I've been making little money and spending it like I'm rich. I've been making bad decisions and thinking that I'm the. If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling baller and hollering at your girl. I've been making little money and spending it like I'm rich. I've been making bad decisions and thinking that I'm the. Scratching my nutsack, dropping rap like rap. I stepped outside of my show and got robbed by one of them thug cats. Hopped on stage and someone yelled out, use a rag. If I wanted to hear a I beat it like a punch bag. Fun fact, people jump me like bounce castles. All I gotta do for it to happen is go to 10 and count backwards. Hearing the crowd's laughter said about my dad's passing. Someone walked past, they laughed and said, damn man, you's a sad bastard. A tad act with misfit, vagabond and miscreant. So confusing people's contemptuous glance for act.
Oh, yeah, folks. I forgot one more thing to add to this whole conundrum of bullshit. I forgot to. So I made sure on my I made sure to actually pin this and make sure I put the hashtag CommunistGate, because nothing says racist about a black man than putting the hashtag CommunistGate on your shit. But I thought I would do this. I forgot to mention this before I left, but I think I left prematurely. But I wrote this. And Larry's been coming over and reading my shit, especially shit I got pinned. But I hope he reads this. And I mean, you guys come over to whatever and try to read this, but here's the thing. It's this right here. It's 17 U.S. Code, United States Code, subsection 106, right? Granting creators the exclusive rights to reproduce, distribute, and publicly display their work. So all that means is that if I upload something, if it's a photo, picture, anything, and I put it on Instagram, any place on the internet, right? I'm the sole uploader. That image only exists where I put it, and it shouldn't exist nowhere else. This protects me from people like Larry, who like to sit back and go and plow through your social media, take your images, and then use them for their defamation schemes, And this is what actually, I should have just, I got to stay around for a few minutes to explain this. So this is what happened. Larry took my images and decided to start a defamation campaign against me, right? By law, he's not supposed to take my images and just upload them without permission from the original uploader or the actual creator. I'm the creator of those images, so he's supposed to have came to me and asked for permission before he even used them, And the thing about it is that news services and media have to get the same type of permission to use images. Now, unless you make these images public, which I have not on any of my social media, then it can't be used because it'd be fair use, right? Because it has to be saying, here's, it has to be like an image that you publish, you gave permission to publish. And sometimes even if you give permission to publish, it's like I can give like New York Times, whoever, permission to publish this image. Nobody else can take that image from the New York Times and republish it on their whatever without getting permission from me or from the New York Times, right? That's how this shit works. That's how it was explained to me, because there is a problem with trolls doing this, right? And this law protects you from people who do this type of shit. So this is what the main thing that I'm trying to tell Larry here is that, and everybody else, this is for everybody else out there in CommunistGate. This is not a matter of cancel culture. This is a legal matter, which this is. A matter of protecting one's intellectual property, creative integrity, and public image from misuse and exploitation. Despite repeated public mockery and deflection from Catfood Larry, the law has spoken and will continue to speak. This case remains active. And this does remain active because I kind of figure out that this is like a long-term troll problem that I'm going to probably have with him going forward. But this is just to let him know that even if he takes my picture and put whiskers and mustaches and cat ears on it, I can still take the shit down. If you want to use my image that bad, Larry, just come and ask me and pay my fee. That's all I ask. If somebody pays me what I ask them for to use my image, they can use it as much as they want to. I don't care. You paid for it. You paid for it, and think about this. Once you pay for it, you have to, every month pay a sum amount to actually keep the image up there. That's what's going to be in the contract, because that's the way you have to play this shit on the internet. That's the way you have to do it, especially with fuckers like him. So if he wants to keep on playing this game, like I have a bunch of guys, a bunch of legal guys right now who are just waiting for him to pull the next stunt, just like the guys that I got for Joe. Waiting for him to pull his next stunt. That's all we're waiting for. But this is what it's about. People get cancel culture confused with a legal matter, which is protecting my intellectual property. Right? That's my intellectual property. He decided to take it and steal it. If he would just have got on his fucking stream and just said something about me, that would have been different, because I wouldn't have no legal right to go after him. Right? But he decided he was going to use pictures and all that other cool shit and label me as fucking a racist in comics game, which is defamation and infringed on my copyright, my right to my intellectual property. So I keep on telling all the Twitter lawyers and YouTube lawyers out there, there's what you all think about how the law works and what I know how the law works. I know how the law works because I've dealt with someone who did the same thing. And these trolls have a pattern of doing the same thing. I actually know what it takes to get shit removed. Yeah, like I said, it's different if he said something about me, but didn't use my imagery. And it's different, for him to use my imagery. And then, that's the difference between like defamation and just your freedom of speech. You got your freedom of speech. You can defamate somebody. You can do defamation of somebody, but that's another matter. But I'm not gonna let you sit back and use images of me, defaming images of me, and try to say that I'm something that I'm not, which you have never proven. You have yet to prove upon a shadow of doubt I'm a racist. So why shall you let you use my images to propagate your slander? That's just fucking ignorant. But it's all right here, Larry, and I pinned it up here for you to read it. And you can do a stream, right? You can do a stream, Larry. You can come right on here, Larry, and read this off to your buddies. You can read all this off to your buddies tonight on your live stream, Larry. Do it all you want to. I just suggest that you should try to use other images, because you have another video, Larry, that I just came across that actually shows you going through images of mine, and it's still on your channel. And if you think I'm not going to come after that one next, just wait. I'm getting that one too. But anyway, folks, that's it. I'm pretty much done. Now. I'm officially done. I'm done with Larry. I'm done talking about Larry. And I'm not going to fucking mention his name ever again unless I have to. But from now on, if he does something, I'm not going to say nothing about it. I'm just going to let my boys handle it like they handled this one. Because what happened in this case is that we sent YouTube, my other lawyer, who's my Joe lawyer, he sent them a good faith DMCA. They sent them a good DMCA to take the shit down. And then YouTube sent a decline letter back saying that they don't believe that my image that I uploaded, that I own, that's my property, is not mine and it belongs to Larry. And they did that twice. So I had to go to another law firm, a law firm that has sued YouTube in the past over this shit. And I asked them, I was like, what can you do? Because it's obviously that I'm the uploader, I own this image. YouTube don't believe. And they said, and this is what they told me, is because YouTube's once again using robots to do something that humans should be able to do. So this whole time, I'm thinking I'm talking to a human, I'm actually talking to a robot. So this whole time, I'm talking to a robot. They actually had me fucking talking to a robot. Now, what happened is that they sent them another letter. I'm not gonna say what the letter was, what's in the letter, but I can't tell you because they don't want me to say what they sent. But they sent them another letter. But I can't tell you. At the bottom of the letter, they had 10 days to respond before we filed a federal, federal communications? I forgot something before we filed something. Because what was in that letter were things they could not answer. And these are the same type of questions that would be answered in court, that they would have to sit back and say why. See, YouTube has to tell the court why under this, after we've proved he's doing these things, we gotta get YouTube to prove that everything he's done, he didn't do. So they're basically being his lawyer. See, think about it, it's like, in order to get the stuff down, to keep it down, we can't like go after Larry. We have to go after the ISP. We have to go after those guys. The ISP being YouTube, and we got to tell YouTube to take the content down. And what happened was is that I guess an actual human being got their hands on the actual letter, the last letter, the final letter we sent to them before we had to take it up a notch. And then they went and actually looked at what he had posted versus what where he stole it from. Then it came to the conclusion like, oh, well, based on your evidence, yeah, but it's the same evidence I've been giving to you. The only thing that's changed is it's a different lawyer now. And I guess once they saw who the law firm was, they decided like they don't want to go through this mess again. Take the shit down. Yeah. Too bad I had to spend money. I had to spend money to prove a point. But once again, I'm too broken. I'm too poor, right? Yeah. I'm broke and I'm poor. Yeah. But I protected my shit. I protected what's mine. I protected what the fuck is mine. And that's all that matters. I don't give a fuck if Larry's mad at Ethan Van Sciver. I don't give a fuck if Larry's going around pretending to be somebody. I don't give a fuck about Larry and his poor hurt feelings of why he can't become a successful creator. I just know a successful creator protects what's his. That's all I know about being a creator. That's like the foundation of all being a creator, is that you protect what's yours and don't let no one fuck your shit up or fuck with you in the process. So people, be strong, protect your shit, because there are fuckers like Larry out here willing to fuck up your shit when he has nothing to fuck up himself. Now I'm finally out here, folks. Peace out.